So I thought I'd start off this video by explaining how it's going to be organized, just because I like this idea and I might want to do it in the future. But for the first couple seconds of the video, I will mention the developers of the game as well as some other notable information about the game, just so you guys can know. Then I'll talk about my first 5 hours of the game and my mindset throughout, and then of course the next 5 hours, and then I'll wrap it up with my final thoughts on the game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you in the next one.
모두들 이것을 벨의 기적이라고 불렀다.
모두 피해야 돼!
Dude, that shit right there, I thought that was the dopest cutscene I've seen for a game ever. Then I played the game. Yeah. But not to worry, there might actually be something to this game, something that makes it worth downloading. So don't let these cartoonish graphics throw you off. Trust me, there's something here.
This is the sacred base of the Belotus army. What are you doing in here? Identify yourself.
KurtzPel is an MMORPG developed and published by KOG. KOG is also the studio behind Elsword, which, if you've ever played that. The game is described on Steam as an anime-styled action battle game from the third-person perspective, which is exactly what it is. It reminds me of like a polished Naruto style. Fuck it, I'm gonna keep going. A polished Naruto style with a basic and heavy attack with abilities on cooldown as well. Although the combos are simple, like simple as fuck, it still makes it for fast-paced fun and slightly janky combat. If you put in the time, you'll get used to it, but if you don't, you probably already uninstalled it.
I come from chaos, but I shall build order here. I come from darkness, but I shall build harmony here.
The first 5 hours of the game for me were spent doing repetitive PvE missions and trying to figure out how to continue with the story. Although I couldn't figure it out at first, I still found their PvE enough for me to keep playing the game, if that makes sense. Considering that I was too scared of ranked PvP and no one queued for practice PvP, I kind of just stuck with the PvE missions, and all the bosses and the monsters and the creatures and shit, they were all unique enough for me to just, you know, be content with what I had. The combat consists of two classes, a main class and a subclass. After you make your character, you then progress through a tutorial on basic combat. After that, you are given more story missions which unlock the other classes. You've got sword, archer, magic, fighting, and newly added dual swords. You have a choice of two classes to switch between in battle. Some are ranged while others are up close and personal. Some are more faster, whereas some do more damage. So it's smart to use the training grounds to practice unique combos because there is a combo system here, although yes, it is janky, but it still works. It felt weird starting this game off, getting used to the camera movement and aiming, and there's no definitive recovery system, so if you got punished, you got punished. But there is a sprint sort of sidestep move that you can do that with some classes it even makes your character disappear for a couple seconds. So it's not entirely impossible to dodge, it's just incredibly difficult. My last 5 hours on this game were spent figuring out the rest of the game, like how to unlock new abilities through their affinity system, which in and of itself is pretty unique, to also figuring out how to upgrade my gear, getting new gear, and preparing myself for ranked PvP. Later on is when I figured out that to continue with the story, you have to rank up in PvP, basically get good. To me it's unique, although they probably said it like 12 times in the cutscenes and they even made a specific anime scene to explain this, and I still didn't realize it until about 7 hours of gameplay. I'm not sure if it was just me or it was probably me. It's always me. But again, I like this system because that can only mean that the bosses later on in the game are actually difficult, which from what I've seen towards later game, yes it is. I'm not even that far in the game and I can tell just the little that I have progressed that yes, it does get a lot harder. The only true thing that I don't like about this game, and because every positive had to have a negative, it is pay to win. The game is on Steam, so it uses the Steam marketplace. In the marketplace, you can buy anything from booster packs to actual abilities to weapons with higher damage. Basically, the more money you spend, the better off you will be. And let's not forget, of course, there are loot boxes. But behind all of that, I think this game has potential. It just needs a little more polish and not a shit ton of microtransactions. I barely said that. But this has been Tyler SMG, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
Now I'm higher than orbits, falling off like forklifts. Put that force up to his door. I'm the one like I'm open, forcing horse to forfeit. Come within my circle, we gon' clip your vocals.